Okay guys, this is the last video, so I'm just going to review some things and drive home the point that you've got to record yourself. And every time you record yourself, it's really a new experience. So we're trying to build a library. That's your goal, is to start building a library of your improvisations. Even if you have never played piano before, or you don't think you're any good, or you used to play but you forgot how to play, or whatever, you can start over today. You just got to remember those really quick things that we went over, like use 2 black keys to find C, D, E, right? And then 3 black keys to find F, G, A, B. That's your key to understanding any keyboard anywhere. Right? C, D, E, F, G, A, B. C, D, E, F, G, A, B. Remember that music alphabet is only 7 notes long. It goes A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Now the weird thing is, C is our locator note for the group of 2, but we got to go down C, B, A to find A. It's here in kind of a weird spot. So I'm sorry, I didn't make the rules. If I had made music, I would have started A here. But anyway, A is the beginning of the music alphabet. So start anywhere on your piano, maybe low down here, and try A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and listen, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Right, that's actually a really cool thing you can do. Is if you can't figure out how to play it with your fingers, you can always play it with one finger. So 1, 2, just like this, right? Or, so let's find an A. So I find my C here next to the group of 2, and I go down to, or I memorize where it is. It's between the top 2 here. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That's the music alphabet. And it keeps going. Okay, I know that's off camera. But anyway, so that's your music alphabet, right? Now, remember you were supposed to create an improvisation on C, D, E, and F, G, A, B. You could also do A, B, C improvs and D, F, D, E, F, G improvs. So I'm going to put it together for you now. We were talking about scales, right? Scales are notes that are next to each other. So you might notice that if you watch piano players on YouTube, sometimes we cross our thumb. This is what's happening underneath. My hand is this, right? Cross our thumb to get the scale to go on infinitely. So if you group your right hand C, D, E with fingers 1, 2, 3. So this is the thing about piano, is thumb is finger 1, pointer is finger 2 on both hands, middle is finger 3 on both hands, ring is finger 4 on both hands, pinky's finger 5 on both hands. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unfortunately, they go in different directions if you use the same finger. But so that's the source of confusion, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 this way. They don't go in the same direction, the numbers of the fingers, right? So anyway, we need all 5 fingers to make a scale, a 5-note scale. But in reality, scales are 7 notes that just keep repeating, like C, D, E, F, G, A, B, repeat, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. Right, so it doesn't really matter how many notes there are, but the scale has a property of one note being next to the other. Right, that's a scale, right? If we go like this and we skip notes, now we've got what's called an arpeggio. So if you take a chord and you skip the notes, you get arpeggios. Really cool trick for arpeggios is to cross your hands over and play the same notes again. Sounds like you have a really long hand, but you really just have 2 that are going back and forth. Or you can do this with any chord. The C chord, C, E, G, C, E, G, C, E, G, into infinity. Infinity, into infinity. You can also skip your hand like that if you're really brave. Gotta have a very steady, light hand. Steady and light to get those jumps. Anyway, those are arpeggios. right? So we're getting the idea. Scales are made of steps, arpeggios are made of skips, and they can be pretty big actually. But you know, mostly they just fit in your hand like this, right? So arpeggio is a broken up chord, one note at a time. So that's the building blocks of music right there, is scales and chords. So let's look at how scales and chords work. If I play the C chord and the C scale at the same time, they sound really good together, right? And I can take my hands, move up, and do the D scale over the D chord, right? E scale over the E chord, right? And then F scale over the E chord. So you can do the scales and the arpeggio next to each other. Arpeggio and then the chord, right? Scale, then the arpeggio, chord, and the scale, then the arpeggio and the chord, right? So look at all those, you know, words that we just learned there. We just learned scale, arpeggio, and chord. You can go down too. So this is a, you know, an exercise. Not really improvising, but what you're learning is how to play in all the white key scales. C scale, D scale, E scale, F scale, G scale, A scale, B scale, C scale. You can play in all of them. So what we were doing before was we were moving a 1 to 4 action, right? One chord. So if you think of like your first chord is going to have this root on the bottom with your pinky, and that's going to be step number 1, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 is going to be the next chord. So our improvs that we recorded were C to F chord, right? And we also did A chord to D chord, because A is 1, 2, 3, D is 4. Right, we did that kind of improvisation on that chord progression, and that's what that is. It's called a chord progression. Chord progressions can be 2 chords going back and forth. They can be 3 chords, 4 chords, 5 chords, 6 chords, 8 chords. Doesn't matter. Most commonly, we've got 4 chords together or 8 chords together. But for the simplicity of your starting assignments in improvisation, we want to, you know, really focus on just doing 1 to 4 movements in the left hand and then choosing a scale in the right hand. So for this exercise, I'm choosing the D scale here, D, E, F, G, A, G, F, E, E, right? And in reality, I have, if I cross my thumb all the way to D and beyond, right? That's just, if I just drag my finger across, it's the same thing. You can kind of cheat with the white keys like that. Right, in the left hand, I cross in a different place. You know, that's how they teach you to do it in classical music school where I went. So this is how I play the D scale. Anyway, that's pretty advanced. So what you want to do is simplicity. Now, the reason I'm putting my hand up here in these exercises is that's so we don't get, people get confused by the thumb being on the same key.